a lot of senior dogs are being surrendered to shelters. And it's very sad. An old sick dog has no chance. And when that happens, it's almost always a death sentence for that dog. And we get a call from a shelter, and time is of the essence. And so Chris doesn't think anything of getting in the car and driving wherever he needs to go. And he just never skips a beat. He just heads that way, wherever there's a dog in need. And I think that's one of his best qualities, and hopefully one of mine, that I never question it. They're not typical dogs to be rescued. So when we call New York City Shelter and say, I want that dog in a box that can't stand up and has a laundry list of medical problems, they say, are you sure you want that dog? Yes, I want it, and I'll come get it right now.
The Mr. Mo project was started after our dog Moses passed away from a spinal cord tumor. We did everything we could. In order for us to figure out what was wrong with him, we had to sell our hot tub so we could pay for an MRI. And 5 weeks later, he ended up passing away, and I was talking to my wife, Marisa, and I said, we should save senior dogs and pay all their medical expenses.
Moses was not a typical dog. I've never met another dog like him. He kind of controlled a room immediately. He had this incredible spirit. He just kind of would drink you in.
And it made sense to me because what we had to do to figure out what was wrong with Moses, I imagine a lot of people go through that same issue where you just don't have the money to cover the treatments or to figure out what's wrong.
We sold our hot tub, and that paid for his MRI, and then we kind of walk around our house sometimes, and whatever isn't nailed down, we sell.
So we decided to take on senior dogs and cover their medical expenses for life to make sure that those dogs are getting the care they need and the treatments they need, and to keep them in a home.
I think when you have a senior dog or a dog with the medical, the medical side of things, the financial side of things can be a very overwhelming thing to look at.
They don't seem to care about how much. It's about getting these dogs back on track to where their quality of life is either better than it was or to the best that they can.
The Mr. Mo project is so unique because it deals just with senior dogs and really focusing on taking care of them throughout the rest of their lives and covering all the expenses that they would need.
A lot of people, throw these dogs away because the medical expenses are too much and they don't want to deal with it anymore, so they drop them off, and Chris and Marisa are there to take care of them.
When I first met Chris and Marisa, it was really amazing the things that they are actually doing for all these dogs.
But that's what we do. Our commitment is not to anything material. It's not to anybody, it's to them. Our commitment is to the 100+ dogs of the project, to the 16 dogs here. That's who we're here to serve, so to speak.
The foster people are incredible. We ask a lot of these fosters to take dogs that we know might not be around for a long time, and they know that too, and they do it every time.
When it comes to fostering for the project, I truly say we have the strongest fosters in the world, because we're not only asking them to take in a senior, sick dog, but we're also asking them to take a dog for a pretty short amount of time. Some of these dogs don't live all that long.
All they want is to be with their person. And for me to give that to a senior dog, to be their person for however long, whether it's 8 months with Blossom or now 2.5 years with Chico, is an amazing feeling, and I wish more people could feel that. No matter how old these dogs are, their loyalty to their person never changes, and their need for love from their person never changes.
It's just so strange that this one shelter dog made this, you know? That Moses is responsible for this, for these vets and these fosters and these dogs and all these people coming together. It's so neat.
So the project means more to me than just the senior dogs. It's Moses as well. This whole thing, and I always, I'll take a step back every now and then, say this is done because of Moses. It's not because of us. It's not because of Marisa. It's not because of myself. It's not because of all of our amazing fosters or supporters. It's because of one dog. That's how this program was started, and that's what I always want to remember. And I don't ever want it to end, because at that point, then Moses' legacy is over, and that is just not okay for me.
These dogs aren't perfect. They come with problems and flaws, just like we all have, but we love them unconditionally, and we love them to the end. And then we love again.